General elections in the United Kingdom are fast approaching. They are scheduled to be held on the 4th of July, the Independence Day of the United States of America. And I'm sure you know Mr. Nigel Farage, who is a British politician, a broadcaster. Currently, he is heading the Reform UK party, which is anti-immigration. Generally, I would not subscribe to their worldview, but yesterday, giving an interview to BBC, Mr. Farage said that the West was responsible for provoking Russia to invade Ukraine, and thereafter we saw many statements coming from the Conservatives, from Rishi Sunak, from the Labour Party current leader of the Labour Party, Mr. Keir Starmer. All of them upbraiding him, lambasting him for his statement that how come he is blaming the West for provoking Russia. It was Russia's own doing, and the West had nothing to do with that. As a matter of fact, in their reaction, strident reaction, they also condemned Mr. Farage for making such an irresponsible statement, saying that Ukraine is an independent country and it was within its right to, if at all Ukraine wanted to join NATO or the European Union, it was its sovereign right, and no country could dictate another country to do what. So these statements or such reaction, this was the reaction we saw coming from the other two main extreme parties. Currently, I think UK Reform Party is poised to get public opinion polls suggest that they would become the third largest party in the UK in the upcoming elections. Now, I would fully endorse what Mr. Farage said, frankly speaking, because he's spot on when it comes to the ongoing war in Ukraine. We all know what happened in the run-up to the war, the way Ukraine was being encouraged to keep on saying publicly that it is interested to, keen to join NATO and become part, and then the Western countries were also supplying arms and weapons to Ukraine. And for Russia, this was one of the red lines, because there were commitments by the West as well that they would not encourage the countries on the Russian borders to join NATO. But then President Zelensky, his credentials we all know, he got carried away somehow, and he also made public statements, so leaving no room or space for the Russian president but to take this difficult decision. Initially, I fully understand that the Russians thought, perhaps they thought that it would be a cakewalk. They would enter into Ukraine and capture it, and perhaps President Zelensky would flee the country. So the Russians would have a free hand to then, have a government of their own choice. But that did not happen. The Ukrainians put up great resistance, I would say, and obviously the West then got worried. They also came out to assist Ukraine in a big way. So now we are in a kind of in a stalemate situation, but that does not mean that. And I also am of the view that no country has the right to attack any other country. We may have differences, but such an aggression and then uh, driving, or creating a situation where country's territorial integrity is compromised. And the way Russia did all that, that raises many other legal questions. But Mr. Farage is right in saying that the West and President Zelensky should have been more careful in their public utterances, and as also it is incomprehensible as to why the West would supply arms and weapons to Ukraine. And even today, when you look at things in Ukraine and what happened in the recently held G7 summit, one finds it very difficult to digest as to what the Western what the Western policy is when it comes to Ukraine. Do they like to what would they like to do in Ukraine? Are they trying to be? They are in for a long haul. We do not know if President Mr. Trump comes back to or occupies the White House again. We do not know what will happen. Meanwhile, on the margins of the G7 summit, the U.S. and Ukraine signed a 10-year security defense pact. That again was I think ill-advised. But in any case, all these developments do not really augur well for the ongoing war in Ukraine. On the other hand, we are seeing Russia is not giving up because Ukraine is far too important for them, and they can perhaps arrive or agree to a modus vivendi, which would normalize the present the status quo. If the West is working to restore the status quo ante, that to me seems rather impossible, at least in the foreseeable future. It is possible that things may worsen for Russia, but at present it seems that we are in a gridlock, in a military gridlock, and one doesn't know how we can get out of this present situation. So, Mr. Farage, thank you very much for putting things in their correct perspective. I know that you have been, you are being criticized for this statement. Though I would not agree with you on your other policy matters or your views on other issues. But as far as your statement on Ukraine is concerned, you are spot on. Thank you very much.